'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
You know what? Let me know below. Would you entertain a situationship? Just be honest. There's no judgment here. Let's keep it real. Would you entertain it? Now, I know you already heard the title. 5 reasons why you should not. All right? But again, I want to reiterate the fact that I understand why so many are doing it. It is very easy to think this is going to be a harmless situation and that it's not a big deal. Why can't we have someone there in the meantime while we're either working on ourselves or we're waiting for that the one to come, our soulmate? And so I know all the reasons why people do it, but I know all the reasons why it fails. All the reasons why it causes so many issues and so many problems. So I simply want you to be aware of those reasons. Now, you're a grown adult, and by the end of this video, I want you to hear the whole thing, and you're going to make your own decision about what you are willing to do and entertain. But I want you to be aware of the reasons why you should not. So before we get to it, check out my book, He's Lying Sis. Now, yes, the video is for men and women, and right now I'm promoting a woman's book. Don't get me wrong, there are books for men at my store, StefanSpeakShop.com, but you can click the link, the first link in the description and in the comment section to get your copy of He's Lying Sis. Women are loving it. It's helping women everywhere. Don't miss it. Anyways, let's get to number 1. So first reason why you should not entertain a situationship. You will develop an unhealthy attachment. Or to be fair, let's say you can develop, and it's very likely you're going to develop an unhealthy attachment. Here's the reality. Some of the marriages that we're seeing right now started as situationships. Some of the co-parenting situations we see right now started off as situationships. Some of the people who thought this was going to be a harmless situation end up being heartbroken, damaged, and all kinds of other issues that we will talk about more in this video. And it all started with a situationship. The reality is when we are emotionally or physically investing into...
That's the good brother, Steven Speaks. And listen, I don't hate on nobody. I give everybody their love and their props. Because I believe that there are multiple right answers. I don't believe that there's just one right answer. I believe that there are multiple wrong answers. So, part of what the brother is saying is true. Here's the thing where we get caught up. Some of the stuff is semantics. See, this is what I believe. Like, they got this whole breakdown that Gen Z are the ones who are in complicated relationships, situationships, right? That's what they're saying. The Gen Z, they're kind of cool with the relationship gray area, and Gen Z, are not committing, and they, they don't want romance and all of this and that. Okay. Let's make it clear. Because what happens is they make it seem like marriage is great. And I'm not saying there aren't any great marriages out there. I know some people who are in some wonderful unions. But the reality of it is all relationships are situationships. Why? Because everybody's a work in progress, which means I'm coming to the relationship with my situation. And typically relationships are about agreements. Are you agreeing to accept me as I am with my stuff? My stuff equals the situation I'm bringing to this person. So every relationship is a situationship. It's not just Gen Z. Yes, Gen Z are moving away from traditional models. But here we go. Traditional relationships versus Gen Z situationships. Is old-fashioned love played out? I got so many questions. Because a lot of people don't know when you do the research. Well, I'll come into that when I come forward. The phone lines are open. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Call me. Let's have a real discussion.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Leaving things half done? Not a good option. Like a half-baked peach cobbler.
A gummy crust? I don't think so.
A half-done hairdo.
All done.
Shouldn't the curls be on both sides?
Or a half of a domino.
Damn, big six.
But where's the other half?
Don't go halfway, especially with your immunity to COVID-19. Keep everyone safer this season by staying up to date with your vaccines and boosters. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find one near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KBLA Talk 1580, putting the spotlight on culture and community. The Rodney King Foundation works in the community to promote positive race relations and achieve social justice. The foundation provides advocacy, educational scholarships, and Walk in Love initiative. The Rodney King Foundation seeks a world of hope, tolerance, and social justice, where divisiveness has been overcome and all people live together peacefully and harmoniously. Executive Director, founder Laura King is striving to enhance the community's self-esteem, health, social services, and social justice locally and worldwide. The foundation is dedicated to continuing the message of Laura's father, the great Rodney King, to promote peace and #Get Along. For more information, please visit rodneyking.org or call 626-541-2907. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason back in the building. I've come full circle after coming forward. Tonight's topic is a doozy. Traditional relationships versus quote-unquote Gen Z situationships. What are the old-fashioned relationship rules that we should keep, that should stay? Is old-fashioned love playing out? The new generation, not as up on commitment and romance as the old school lovers are. I've got questions. What are some old school relationship beliefs? And are they becoming an endangered species? What are Generation Z relationships like? Seems like the Generation Z group loves the gray area. That's one thing I never understood about grown folk. How your relationship supposed to be black and white and life is gray? Seems like Generation Z got it right. Life is gray. Life is ambiguous. The Generation Xers and beyond, baby boomers, all of them, y'all know that old saying, you want to make God laugh? Show him your plans. You want to make God fall out of his chair and roll on the floor in tears? Tell him about how your relationship gonna work. know a lot of people don't want to hear that. What is the gray zone in relationships? And why do so many people fear this grayness, this indeterminance? Why is that? 1-800-920-1580. Why do we shy away from discussing the gray areas in our relationships? See, let me tell you something. Maybe you guys will disagree with me, but the old school way has its pros and has its cons. Yes, the pro is what? We together. We gonna work it out. We gonna stay together. The cons, as long as I'm doing my gender roles responsibility, I don't have to do no self-work. Uh-oh. A lot of people think this way. Some banal, but a lot of people think this way. At least I was together with mine, but y'all were toxic. And you raised children in a toxic environment. Right? Yes, a lot of pros with the old school way and a lot of cons. But I also believe that there are some cons in the situationship for the new Gen Zs too. Let's talk about it. Agree or disagree? You've all seen and experienced the true face of the world we're living in. The truth is, we try to exist in a brutal, insensitive society that only, and this is terrible, that only takes without giving anything in return. For the most part, that's how we interact in relationships. I'm here for something. This sick society takes and doesn't really give in return. Then we hope we find somebody who will give us the love that we've been in search of. Can modern day men and women use old school relationship values to build healthy relationships today? Sustainable relationships. We got the old versus the new today. Traditional relationships versus Gen Z situationships. Now, I hear a lot of brothers saying sisters claim they want a traditional man, but when they get one, they don't really like that. The traditional man is, let me handle it, I got it, take it, get over there. Sisters, I'm independent, hold on. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to hear your thoughts. What are the roles of a traditional husband? Right? What are the roles of a traditional wife? Can we get into this? Protector, provider, leader. Follow my lead based on my gender, not based on the wars I've won within my spirit. 1-800-920-1580. Sean from Oakland is in the building. Talk to me.
Hey, brother. Wow. Of course, you're Zoda, the voice of reason. Another perfect topic. And I think everyone needs to listen to this because I'm old, just to put that right out there. Yes, there are some traditions and some things from us old folks that we can pass on that will make a wonderful relationship. One of them is being polite. Okay, that's number one. Be polite. Okay, and be polite to everyone. Unless someone disrespects you and is being ridiculous, okay, we all know we can hold our own against that. But be polite, be respectful. If it's just a traditional, if it's girl, boy, 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 girl, girl, I personally am at this point in my life, I don't care. I don't care who loves one another. If you love one another, boom, treat each other with respect and be polite. Okay, but I also understand this new thing with the Gen Z, which is it. Well, I don't know if I understand it all the way, but it's very interesting, which is they're trying to calculate with all this data, because, you know, I'm an old school baseball guy where data only matters so much until you get to the playoffs and the World Series. But I'll tell you what, it does matter, but it doesn't matter at the end of the whole thing. But, you know, they're trying to maybe calculate who they can be with in the long run. And they're trying to calculate this. Well, don't waste too much time doing that. And that's my opinion, because the science is all over the board. But I'm saying, you know, when you find someone, you really want to be with them and all of that, you know, you're going to have to work out all kinds of things in this world of life, which, number one, Zoe, you know this. The one thing you can predict in life is that it's unpredictable.
100.
So you're going to have to be resilient.
Yes.
And you're going to have to work through all this stuff and be together. And if you can do that, teamwork makes the dream work. That's a cliche, but it's so true. But if you can do that, it's awesome. So I love the young kids coming up. I just think that, yes, us older guys can give some of that politeness and respect, and if you want to call it decorum, whatever it is, you know, and then work through it. But this thing where it's black and white, like the woman should be doing this and the man should be doing this, forget about it, people. Let's move on. That stuff is in the past. Let's make sure that we work together as a team and make everything productive going forward as a family.
Man, I appreciate you, Sean. Oakland, California is in the building because of you. You already know you got a seat at the table. Call me anytime.
Thanks, brother. Love you.
Yes, sir. Love you too, good brother. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. That's 1-800-920-1580. Call me right now because we're having a really good conversation. There have been some shifts that indicate a loosening of traditional attitudes and norms. On the whole, young adults desire traditional relationship forms, namely monogamous live-in partnership, and value qualities consistent with them, namely fidelity and longevity. In fact, young adults value monogamy and faithfulness more than ever. So they like bits and pieces of the traditional model. But are they going to cook? Huh? Who going to cook? 1-800-920-1580. Fred, San Fernando Valley, get in here.
Hey, man, how you doing? All right, this is Fred. Okay. So in my lifetime, we went from you dated your high school sweetheart, then you moved on to your college sweetheart, then you went to your worldwide sweetheart because it was a person out there in the world that, you connected with. Well, in my day, we used to shack up first because I need to find out who you was as a person.
Shack
and
up?
let's share these goals. Okay. Yeah, you shack up. I mean, that's what we used to do back in the 70s.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
She moved in, put a few, she lived in the dorm, but she had a few clothes at your house. You moved off campus, and she would come through. And then she would open up the pork and beans and the weenie beanies and so forth. We weren't rich like that back in the day. We didn't have no microwaves and stuff. So the woman would go ahead and cook because there was no instant gratification. We didn't have microwavable food. So somebody had to cook. Okay? Since she knew how to be a little bit more handier in the kitchen than the man would let her go ahead and do that task and he would do everything else, If she needed an oil change, he would do that for free. I mean, it was a barter system. You do this for me, I do this for you. We do this together.
Right.
Then it went to a more open market, supply and demand. You know what I mean? So the man would supply what the woman demanded. Okay? And vice versa. Then we got to outsourcing. Outsourcing was the side chick.
Uh-oh.
We had too many options. Yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying? We outsourced it just like the government. Government made by people. So the people took the same trends. Started outsourcing, right?
Right.
Okay. Then you came with friends with benefits, right? Yeah, you had to supply that Social Security number to the broad. You had to get to know her for the friends with benefits.
Lord,
but
Fred, don't call
you can stop
the women broads. Don't do that.
Okay, the what floozies? Okay, the floozies.
Oh, it gets even worse. Come on.
Cause check this out. What woman gonna let a nigga? I mean, a young
Fred.
man come in at 4:00 in the morning. He halfway drunk. He don't even live with you, but he has the nerve enough to come and call you at 4:00 in the morning and share a bed with you. Come on now. But when he finished laying up with you, he rolls out, use your shower to go home to his woman. Okay, so when the women start opening up, their little bread and breakfasts or whatever you want to call it, dude just slide in, and the price of womanhood went down. Y'all undermine your own stock.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow, that's
heavy. Because you started coming up with drive-through. Dudes can't do drive-through.
So are you saying a woman's sexual independence drove her stock down? Is that what you're saying?
Well, understand this. You put too many jelly beans on the market, the price of jelly beans going to go down.
All right.
You know, people gonna get sick of Billie Jean. You know, people gonna get sick of jelly beans. They're gonna want to move on to something else.
All right,
and
Fred.
That's what the black man did. I mean, just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
We went from black women to white women because we were tired of the same old product. Keep it real.
All right, Fred, we appreciate the call. Thank you, brother. You know I don't like to judge folk when they say they spill. But thank you, Fred. Let me listen. One way to turn the intellect off is to have a unidirectional blame game, circle jerking kind of conversation. Now, okay, you want to talk about women's lib and feminism and all of that kind of stuff. And yes, some of the models of relationships have changed. But you also got to look at men too. I like balanced conversation. How men show up or not show up in relationship also affects the way we connect, especially moving forward into this new world. When we talk about a traditional relationship, let me give you a definition so we don't go off on tangents. Okay, a traditional relationship. Here it is. Traditional relationships are defined as relationships in which partners fulfill roles based upon their gender and stereotypical role expectations. That is your definition for traditional relationships. Let me say it again. Traditional relationships are defined as relationships in which partners fulfill roles based upon their gender and stereotypical role expectation. Now, I'm going to say what I said about 10 seconds ago. Don't you know that this is one of the easiest forms of relationship to hide in? Because all you have to do is fulfill your gender's role in that relationship. Self-work is not a part of this. This is why I said Gen Z may have something when they embrace what is known as the gray area. When we come forward, I'm going to break that down a little further. We got Raleigh, North Carolina. We got Las Vegas. We just had Fred from the San Fernando Valley with the potty mouth. When we come forward, more on the VOR.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Airports across the U.S. are jammed today. Officials warn this year's Thanksgiving travel season will be the third largest for travel in the last 20 years. The White House is extending the student loan repayment pause. President Biden said in a video posted on Twitter that he's confident in his student debt relief plan, despite Republican officials trying to block it. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona is pushing the pause to June 30th instead of the start of the new year. Donations to a charitable fund that will be distributed to victims of a mass shooting in Colorado Springs have topped $245,000. The Colorado Healing Fund has set aside a portion of its website to take donations that will go to the families of those killed as well as the survivors. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day. Call 1-800-INFO-FIX to find the nearest Fix Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent you want to go to Fix Auto.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce a can't-miss community event.
It's a celebration.
Welcome home, Mayor-elect Karen Bass.
Oh my God.
Join us for this free public event as we celebrate Mayor-elect Bass's historic victory. There'll be entertainment, food trucks, and a diverse array of vendors, along with attendance and participation from community leaders, elected officials, celebrities, business owners, and other notables. KBLA Talk 1580 will host Mayor-elect Bass on the main stage as we reflect on the importance of this moment and what it means for the Black community, women, and all Angelinos who believe in the limitless potential of our amazing city. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 and our social media platforms for all the important details. We look forward to celebrating with Mayor-elect Karen Bass and you.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now, it's a celebration.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Conserving water starts with a few simple water-saving actions at home and in your yard, like adjusting your sprinklers and adding drip irrigation so you water only where it's needed. We can all do our part to conserve water. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Save water, save California.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's a natural fact that I want to come back. Show me where it's at, baby. I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being alone. Won't you help me, girl? As soon as you can.
Al Green.
I guess you know that
That's that traditional love music. My playlist is my co-host, of course. And here's the cold part about it. When I was putting my playlist together, I said, who could go against Marvin Gaye? That's young. I was like, but then I started to look around the young cats. There's no Marvin Gaye equivalent. No disrespect to the youngsters. We love the youngsters. No disrespect to the youngsters. But I just, who could we match with Marvin Gaye? My initial thought was Stevie Wonder. But then I said, I already did Stevie Wonder. Somebody said Jaheim. No. No. So then I said, Al Green. We're going to have an Al Green. John Legend. No. No, we can't. Sometimes we're going to do Al Green and Marvin Gaye for our playlist verses tonight. We got a lot of people on the phone right now that want to talk about this. So let's get them in here because we're talking about the differences between traditional relationships. Do young people still want to have a traditional kind of relationship, or do they want this new thing that they've been attributed to creating, a situationship? Basically, no rules. Well, loose rules. How about that? Gen Xers aren't prioritizing romantic relationships. Or if they're open to one, they want it to happen organically, which I'm a proponent of. A majority, 52%, expect to meet their significant other in person instead of via mutual acquaintances. 30% believe they're going to meet somebody on an app. 6%, and this is all according to Goldman Sachs, right? An intern survey. So a lot of these relationships are hard to define, right? They're saying the Gen Xers are basically saying they have iffy kind of feelings about commitment. Kind of iffy. That's why the relationship is hard to define. Is a good relationship one that is defined? Can we go into that? 1-800-920-1580. Do we have to know what it is? Or is not knowing what it is putting you in jeopardy? A lot of relationship experts would say, if you don't know what it is, you wasting your time. That's what a lot of people say. Is that true? If the relationship doesn't have a title, are you wasting your time? I want to know what you think. Let's make it happen right now. We got Chakra. Can I say it right? Chakra Q from Raleigh, North Carolina. Get in here.
Hey, peace and protection to the family. Peace to you, brother. I got to jump in here. And so it's a couple of things I really want to express. And one of those things is on the traditional side, the traditional relationship. I'm currently talking to a young female where she expresses about how her parents, he wants what her parents had, right? And her parents had, they were together since they was 18, and it's like the Huxtables, real life. And so I counteract that and say, you got to understand, put things in context. Your parents grew up in a different world than we grew up in and grew up in.
Right.
And the next generation is growing up in a different world that we grow up in. And so but I also understand that you wanting to hold on to that because it built your values. But I gave her my story. My parents didn't grow up that way. They argue all the time, and that became my norm. So you have to, the traditional roles, as you said, have a role that they play. And so my mother, for a long time, because she was playing a traditional role, held all of her issues inside. And then it got to a boiling point where it erupted. And so it became a toxic environment that I grew up in. But I didn't grow up in the suburbs and the Huxtables. So when you're talking about traditionalism, yeah, I understand your argument and that you want to hold on to that, but that's not my reality. So the Gen Xers, in their defense, is they're more open, they're more informed. And I kind of, I'm in that transitional generation where I know how to write cursive. I grew up, you know what I mean? But I also Right. I also know with the cell phone. I remember when the cell phone was just a green screen, like you was playing Tetris. It looked like a Tetris screen. And then it came into all this video chatting and all of that type of stuff. And I remember my dad telling me, like, not to get off subject, that the Star Trek stuff, that was stuff we never even imagined would be real, to be able to just talk to somebody and see their face and just click a button and it would be reality.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is the Gen X, the Gen Zs grow up in a different time. So you can't really, it's like Jordan and LeBron. Like, you can't really compare the two because the rules have changed. They moved the goalposts.
Right.
And so for us to take the realization and take all this information into account, yes, do we need to hold on to those traditions? Absolutely. However, we also need to take into account and put things in perspective of everything that we know now that we didn't know then.
So, so wait a minute.
Go
Hold on, because I hear what you're saying. So are you saying that the traditional model needs to be upgraded? There needs to be some recontextualization, some
definitely needs an upgrade.
Talk to me about that.
And so the upgrade would be, listen, you don't get to be a king without the ceremony, the announcement, the rituals that it takes for you to be brung into kingdom. Just like you don't get to be a man without the rites of passage that it takes to become a man. So you don't get to just say, oh, we don't need a label. No, if you're man enough to say that you need this woman or whomever your partner is needs to follow you, then you need to take a stand. That's what it is, and as far as I was raised, to be a man.
So wait,
if I'm
let
gonna,
me be clear, because you're on a tangent. Let me pull you in just a little bit. So you're saying when you taking a stand is making a commitment.
Is making a commitment.
There we go. Yes.
Okay, so if I make a strong commitment and say, follow me, and a person decides to, you know what, I'm going to follow you, that is a label. You are establishing something together. And so therefore, to act ambiguous to the relationship is you leaving yourself open to the entire world, the good and the evil. And so that's positive and negative energy. But I don't want to keep. At the end of the day,
you're good. You're good. So which generation are you? I like some of the stuff you're saying.
I was born in '83.
So that's, what is that?
So
X?
I remember. I think that's X. Is it Y?
Millennial. Oh, you millennial.
Millennial. So we thought that the world was going to end when the clock struck 2000.
I remember that.
Right?
I remember
that.
You
know, I remember when the people, I'm from New Jersey, really. So I remember when everybody took all them that, put their jumpsuits on and not drank the Kool. You know what I mean? So
I remember.
That was many years from Jim Jones. They thought they was hopping on Haley's Comet.
Hell Bop. Hey, stay with me, Chakra Q, because you cooking right now. When we come forward, I think I want to go back to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Higher gas prices meant oil companies made massive profit. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by MLK Hospital. The average for regular gas is $5.46 at the pump, with $5.80 for premium. Meanwhile, local refiners like Phillips 66 and Marathon report profit increases up to 1,243% higher than last year. Governor Newsom was reported to say that big oil is making record profits by, quote, ripping off Californians, end quote. Penalties for this price gouging will put profits back into taxpayers' pockets in the form of a direct deposit refund. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News. Let us know your thoughts on this by tweeting us at KBLA 1580. When you have your baby at MLK Community Hospital, they will work hard to make sure you and your family have the experience that you want. MLK Hospital welcomes your new baby.
Congratulations to this week's KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week, Community Legal Aid SoCal, Advocates for Justice in Orange and Los Angeles counties. Congratulations, Community Legal Aid SoCal.
Life is uncertain.
It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory. Yeah, man.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community, and I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. More of the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned. Let me just say this, man. Al Green and Marvin Gaye are two heavyweights. But Lord, they both professionals. They're both legends, but Marvin Gaye, Lord, whew. My co-host, my playlist is my co-host. We are featuring Marvin Gaye and the good brother Al Green, and they both swinging for the fences tonight. My brother Chakra Q was on the line, and he was saying some things about this, this shift in relationships, right? Traditional relationships versus Gen Z situationships. And they're totally different in their approach, but he was saying some very good stuff. Chakra, get back in here and talk to me.
Good. It's much love and big ups to all the listeners. And I gotta say this point real quick. Just to my great grandfather and his honor, Hastings Smith. I remember stories hearing this from my grandmother about how he would come home and give my great grandmother Bessie Smith all the money that he made, right? And so that was the traditional way. Now, we just switched to the Gen Z where now black women are making more than black men. If you realize what's really going on, it doesn't matter that they changed the goal line if we working together, because we was working together traditionally. And the woman was home taking care of the business, and he brought home the check, and she took care of the bills and took care of everything and gave him a little allowance. It's no different than now. If you're a high value woman and you making more than your man, he's still the man. He's still he's still the king, and so it's like you still gonna take care of everything. It's just that he's gonna put. Go ahead.
But what if this society has changed the definition of king? And now you're not the king, because again, the traditional model says the man is the provider, the protector, right? And if he's not protecting or if he's not providing anymore, does that tarnish his crown? Stay with me, Chakra Q. When we come forward, more from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's cooking.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stop the violence. Increase the Peace Foundation is a non-profit community-based organization dedicated to fostering peace while mitigating violence in our society. Established in 1993, Stop the Violence, Increase the Peace has provided a wide variety of assistance to thousands of youth, families, and victims of violence over the past 3 decades, including intervention services, conflict and dispute resolution training, grief counseling, and victims advocacy. In addition, the foundation offers an array of classes focused on anger management, domestic violence, parenting, substance abuse, and more. To make a donation or to access services, call 323-445-8620. That's 323-445-8620, or visit www.increasethepeacefoundation.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Spending my day thinking about you, girl. Being here with you, being near with you, can't explain myself.
Come on, Al.
Feel like I do. Though it
That playlist cold, boy.
to let you know.
Al Green and Marvin Gaye. Woo. Come on.
Let me know.
What do Gen Z, Generation Z, what do they like in a relationship?
Let me know.
Research has shown that Gen Z's attitude towards dating and sex has evolved, right, from the generations before them. They take an exceptionally pragmatic approach to love and sex, and subsequently aren't prioritizing establishing committed romantic relationships the same way their older peers once did. Pragmatic to me is just transactional. What am I going to get out of this? Right? That's what the situationship is starting to sound like for Generation Z. Again, we pointed out the flaw in the traditional relationship as given to us by the definition. Traditional relationships are defined as relationships in which partners fulfill roles based upon their gender and stereotypical role expectations. We pointed out the flaw in that. There's good in that, but there's also flaws in that. Chakra Q, wrap it up. You got 60 seconds.
I'm gonna wrap it up real quick. You gotta understand it's the Kunta Kinte versus the Chicken George. The traditional coming off the boat. Listen, brother, you just got here. This is how we do things now. I understand you come with the history and your kingship and all of that, and then we establish rules here, and we transition from that, not having a religion, to having a religion. We have to grow. It's Darwin, quote unquote, and so we have to evolve. And this is why you're doing God's work. Because shout out to Tavis Smiley, shout out to you, Zoe Williams. It starts at the core. It starts at the family. And what's at the core of the family? The relationships between man, woman, and child. So we have to work on that, and that's what we're doing right now. So at the end of the day, yes, we do have to evolve. If we're going to survive, we got to evolve.
I love it.
And so I'm going to just say that, and I'm going to leave it there.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate the call, man. Good stuff. Yogi Fish, New York. New York, New York. Get Yogi Fish in here. Yogi, we need some wisdom, brother. We need some wisdom.
Wow, you just got some good wisdom there. I appreciate the young brother and his outlook on how life is in his world. You know what I mean? And I hate to say opposites, you know what I mean? Especially following someone who's put a lot into his thoughts. So let me just preface it by saying I'm over 60, so it's a different generation.
Right.
And I grew up with great-grandparents, grandparents, parents, and different traditions of things. But one of the things they always told me is don't do what we've done. You know what I mean? Do better than what we did.
Ooh, come on, brother. Come on.
The whole traditional thing, I think, gets convoluted, at least in the black culture, that we have a tradition of wanting others to do better than us. So, you know, when people say handing down a tradition, they're not trying to hand down the situation. They're trying to hand down value systems that, you know, you apply them any way you can, but keep some values. But your relationship shouldn't be the same as ours because the basis for their relationships was survival.
That's right.
So
Yogi Fish.
They didn't get to do the loving thing.
Yogi Fish, stay with me, brother. Stay with me.
Oh.
Because we got to talk about that survival piece. When we come forward, we going back to New York to talk to my good brother Yogi Fish. We still have a lot to talk about.
Don't you know that I'm still in love? Shut up in love with you, yeah.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information